3, 2, 1.
Welcome to another podcast episode. Anyways, welcome to another episode
On this,
the podcast.
yeah, on this YouTube channel.
Okay, so I have a question
For
you as an INFJ.
Okay.
How unexpected.
Yes, really.
There is this thing that many INFJs experience, which is a situation where you have prepared a lot, and really done a lot of work for something, especially in school, but then for some reason you end up not needing it, or someone else comes up with something better and your work is basically done for nothing.
Okay. But does this only happen with INFJs?
No, obviously not.
But mainly?
But it's a thing, kinda. It's like a common experience
That INFJs share.
Yeah. Or it could also be that you prepare a lot, for example, a presentation, and it's done like really well, but then you kind of skipped some little details or something important, and then maybe you missed something and it doesn't work. Like you forgot your
USB
yeah.
stick.
Yeah, or maybe even something breaks down because...
Okay, or you forgot to bring something that you wanted to show or something?
Yeah, maybe like that, something like that. Or just something happens that...
You didn't foresee.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, something like that probably never happened to me. Like, forgetting something, actually. Because I try to avoid it as possible, because I absolutely hate to regret stuff, and if I forget something that I'm proud of or that I worked on, I could rage. I hate it, so I try to avoid it, and I probably think it never happened in school, actually.
Okay, but did something happen where you just did a lot of preparation and then for some reason, whatever reason it may be, it was like...
Not needed.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hate this. I think to that day when I think of golfing. Because I don't know if you remember, but in German class, we had to prepare stuff for, or like everyone was selected for a like job interview. And everyone had like, everyone had like this specific job that they were interviewing for, yes. And you couldn't choose which one you wanted. You just got one and you had to prepare. Or our teacher told us to prepare something, or to prepare so that we know what we're talking about when we were interviewed. So my
job was to work in a library.
Yeah. That's
pretty nice,
cool.
Actually,
yeah. My job was being like the golf kid. I don't know how the golfer boy, even though I'm not a boy.
There's some kind of term to describe this very job.
But what does he do? I think he
carries the golf bag.
The golf bag, and like
maybe he collects the balls.
Yeah, or like drives the golf cart.
Yeah.
Or I don't know, something like that. So she said we also had to prepare like rules, or we had to get to know golfing a little.
Yeah.
And I forgot, but in the morning before I went to school, I realized I didn't prepare, and I forgot. So the whole morning, like an hour before I went to school, I Googled about golfing, and then there were like these different golf rackets, or how do you call them? Like
the stick that you use to toss the balls into tiny holes.
And everyone is used for a different scenario, or and like I learned them all by heart. Which one is for what?
Oh.
And then there are also like different areas of the golf place, of the golfing
like
place.
the area.
Yeah, like the water and the like higher grass and lower grass and sand, and I learned this really. And then when I was being interviewed, she asked nothing about this. Nothing. She didn't ask me one question about golfing. Really. And I was like, why did I waste my whole morning just to learn stuff about those sticks?
That hurts.
Yeah,
that hurt.
But now when someone plays golf, or there's this game online where you can golfing with your friends, is the name of this game. I don't know. And there are also those different, I have to Google. So it's actually called Golf Club, the thing you... Golf Club. It's the name for the thing that I meant. And every time there's a golf club mentioned, I know like a putter. That's the thing the last club you use. It's something like this. And I'm like, what? And every time it reminds me of the morning that I wasted for nothing.
But now you know about golf.
Yeah. But I never played golf. Well.
Yeah, but that feeling really sucks when you just did so much, and then it's like when you studied a lot for a test, and then only like a tiny bit of the whole thing that you learned. Like you learned so much on every topic to its core, and then they only ask like basic questions, like
just, only the surface.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh my gosh, like that's an insult to me.
Like, I learned so much.
Give me the real questions.
I studied really hard, and then you didn't need any of it, actually. Could have. Yeah. You wasted your time, actually.
Literally. Then I just would have wanted at least some spicy questions.
Yeah.
Where I could like throw all my knowledge
into that question. Yeah. But did you prepare, obviously, but did you prepare for something specific that you didn't need then anymore?
Yeah, kind of similar to yours, because it was also in German class. And it was also a kind of presentation thing, kind of. And it was an interview as well that we had about a book. Yeah, the book interview.
Oh my god, yes. I remember.
And I think it was about a fantasy book.
Yeah.
So I, of course, chose my favorite fantasy book that I actually never, to this day, never fully read.
Lords of the Rings.
Yeah. I still, of course, picked this one.
Didn't she say like you shouldn't pick this because it's too long or too specific?
Maybe. But of course I didn't listen to that. No, but yeah. But it was actually a requirement to read the book at first.
Oh, and you didn't read it actually. You watched the movie and read like a few pages.
Yeah, I tried. I read like the first book, almost. I think. But then, I don't know.
I gave up.
I read some parts of the other two books. But it's like 3 books, not just one. It's 3. And it's not that easy to read. It's not
a simple language.
I wouldn't say no.
Did you say it to her that you didn't read it? No. You read it.
I read it.
If she
like all the other books in German class that I read.
You didn't read, like you read most of them not actually.
I wouldn't say so. But
I remember that one time when we were having this the quiz about like a book we had to read, and we did it together. But actually, I had to help you.
Yeah, you gave me all the answers.
Yeah, because you didn't read it.
What is number 5?
The book was called Julia.
Yeah, truly.
It was horrible.
It was. See,
but I read it. I did my work.
It was literally affecting my mental health, and I felt extremely drained after reading it.
Yeah, so you used me for those answers, and I think you did pretty well actually after that.
I did pretty well. I did pretty well with most quizzes, even with the books I didn't really read, because I still, I got into the books. I did everything about the book, like get to know everything about the book except for really read it word by word, because I was interested in it actually, but I just don't want to read it.
Yeah.
But then I was like, I was always the one kind of talking to our teacher and giving the answers.
So she thought you read it.
Yeah.
Even though you didn't.
I didn't read it, but I got it. I got the message because it's literature, and that's something I can
relate to.
Yeah, I know a little bit stuff about it. So,
but what I remember, there was one time where you read the book actually, and I like.
Yeah, you were like, nah, I don't want to read it.
I feel like I forgot it, or I didn't. No, I read it actually, but I feel like I didn't get it, and the questions were too hard, or I didn't.
That might as well have been.
And we did every of those test quizzes actually together, I feel like, or the most of them, or the one time in biology where we had this last, wasn't it the last exam, and I got it, I think.
Yeah.
In the end, I knew what everything was about, and I knew the concept, and I don't know, I understood it, but you were sitting next to me or like in front of me.
No, I think that we were next to each other, but there were some seats between us.
Okay, and she was like talking to someone else, and you were like, how does this work? I don't get it. And I said, you have to put this there and there and there. And then she was looking, and we were like, and then this. But so I don't remember. Did you get it right in the end, or was it like?
I actually did get it right. It was like with
like this genetical thing.
Yeah, genes and how they develop during generations or something like that.
Like when someone has blue eyes, and the father has blue eyes, and the mother brown.
Yeah.
And some is like more dominant, and the other is inferior. What's
recessive, something like that. I don't know. I actually don't know. I didn't get it, but I kinda got the concept, and I was actually just assuming how it worked. It actually did work, and I was like, oh my god,
I didn't get anything.
But then you had to give, like, that thing needed a title, like not a creative title, but it was either this thing or the other, and you needed
like dominant and inferior, but the real terms for that.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, yeah.
And I because I had no idea of it, I guessed. I guess. I think you were telling me the right one.
And you were like,
nah, I don't think so.
What's wrong? Yeah, I was like, do this, it's dominant. No,
I don't know.
And then
I'm not so sure about it.
But and before that, we had to take a quiz online. Actually, that was the other part, and the sheet with the.
Yeah, but like everyone kind of failed it, so she was like, whatever.
Whatever.
Anyway,
because else, no one would have passed this class probably, because we were all really bad. Yes. Like except for 2 people probably.
Yeah.
Well, but the story you wanted to tell about the book.
Yeah, it was about Lord of the Rings. So I like for most of my presentations, it was way too long what I prepared. So that happened to me like most of the times, that I had to cut down stuff and had to actually say much less than I actually had prepared or could have said.
Yeah.
That really to this day hurts, but it's okay now. It was really just me being kind of mindless, because it was an interview, so the two of us were talking to each other.
I was interviewing
Yeah.
you. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was like thinking now who interviewed you and who interviewed me.
Obviously. And then we had to tell a little bit like some traits of the characters and like explain who they are.
Mm-hmm.
And I had this like really nice description of one of the main characters, and it was really good, and I was really, yeah, I'm gonna say that, and it's really good. But it was too long, and I knew I had to just skip it a little bit. But then I said like a little bit about it, like just a few sentences, and then you were like, okay, so is that all? And I was like, oh, okay, I'm done with it, and just I thought I was done with that character, and we moved on.
Mm-hmm.
But then sometime like later on, I realized I said so little of what I actually wanted to say. I could have said more. I just didn't get it. I forgot, kind of. I was like,
I was giving you the opportunity to skip, and you just took it without thinking about what you actually wanted to say.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, and can we move on? Is it finished?
Yeah.
And you're like,
I was
anyway.
genuinely thinking that I was done.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, I realized, oh my gosh, no. I wanted to say this.
In the end, or while we were still talking?
Even during
okay.
the talk.
Wow. But no one noticed.
No, it was okay because I was saying so much other stuff. Like, it was okay because I needed to cut down on stuff anyways because it was long. So.
Okay.
But yeah, I just wanted to say that.
Oh, it's sad.
Yeah.
It did the whole work, and it would have been nice. But...
maybe. But I mean, maybe also not. It would have been interesting because it's like a kind of, not a plot twist, but it's like why this character, who was actually not the main character, but just one of the main characters, but why he's actually the hero of the story and not the actual hero. And
okay, so
that would have been kind of interesting. And was,
never mind.
Whatever.
You can't change it.
But I mean, the whole internet also thinks that way, so it's okay.
If someone Googles it, they will know about it.
Sure.
Okay. So this is the only time you prepared?
No, of course not. I prepared a lot of times. Probably actually most of the times I did something I did more than was required.
Mm-hmm.
At least when I was interested in something, I was like, let's do it. Let's freaking do it.
I was trying to think of something where I wrote like too much, and I thought of geography. I didn't write too much probably, but with him it was not that easy because you had to do more than what was expected from you to be for it to be like really good. So one time I did probably really good and did much work and wrote much down, and in the end it was like good, but he didn't like say it was really good. So
that's the thing.
Put an A on it and it was okay.
Yeah. Sometimes you can do like even more than is required, but at the end of the day, it's for some reason it wasn't good enough, or it was still not right or something.
Yeah.
So that really, because I don't know, maybe it's because INFJs are they like to get deep into things, and they also like to, because of the extroverted feeling, even like when the task is kind of related to another person, they like to really they want to make a good impression, not expression, something like that maybe. And then it just leads to doing a lot of work that is not even in any sense required, and it's not appreciated. Maybe also with relationships. I think it also happens, like not only to INFJs, but you put a lot of effort into the relationship, I mean, this can literally happen to anyone.
Yeah.
But if it's not kind of returned, then it just feels like,
yeah, it's
damn.
It's a little hurtful when you're putting so much effort in and it's not like appreciated in the end.
Yeah.
But I wanted to ask, on the other hand, did you ever prepare much for something, like, and it was in the end needed, and you were like happy?
Like, thank
Like,
goodness I did
yeah.
so much.
Because I remember one time
Yeah.
in geography when there was this one time when we had to hold like a speech
Yeah.
about like, I don't know what topic.
Globalization.
Okay. Yeah, could be.
I think it was globalization.
And he wasn't telling us who he
would pick.
Yeah, but he told us he would pick 3 people. And we had to, no, we all had to do it, but only 3 people had to really hold the speech, and he was like only telling us that if someone wants to, they can, and if he didn't say he will pick a person, and we all had to write it down, and I kind of like prepared for when I will be picked.
That
I can
the
like
worst case scenario.
Yeah, that I'm
wanted to be
really prepared. In the end, he picked me at first. I was the first person to be picked, I think.
But he did that because I feel like he said he was really intrigued by your speech. That's why he picked yours.
Ah, yes. I think yes. He looked at the sheet and he just saw that I wrote down much, that I like really put an effort in, and he was like, I don't wanna read it. Like, present it, please. And I was like, why couldn't I just write down a little less? But in the end, I feel like I did pretty well.
Yeah, I think he was really satisfied.
He liked it. But it was really hard. Oh my god. I hated this situation where I wanted to.
Because it was, even though it was kind of prepared, it was still
like too raw to be prepared.
Yeah. It was just geography. Of course, you didn't put like your soul into the speech. I
kind of put more effort in than I would normally, probably. So I'm glad that I did, actually.
So yeah, actually I thought of something kind of similar. Because in one time in Russian class, we had to prepare a lesson for the others, right?
About a
grammar
topic.
Yeah. And I was also putting a lot of effort into this.
I feel like I wasn't there.
You weren't there.
Oh, nice.
It was actually
no, but nice that actually... you can tell me now, and I don't know it already.
Okay. It was actually pretty good because I really tried to make the others understand, because I knew this was a complex topic. And
I wasn't there. It's sad because I would have understood them.
Yeah, probably. And then the others were like really telling me, yeah, that was good, and I would like every lesson to be like that. So I was like, yeah, I did something good. Yeah.
But about what was it, and how did you do it?
The topic? The topic was, I don't know if this is in English also, this is the same word, aspects. Two different aspects. I don't know if that's like the word.
Aspekte. Oh my god. And how did you do it?
I did a presentation, a PowerPoint presentation. It was just really, I explained it kind of from scratch.
Okay, yeah. For someone who didn't ever hear of it.
Yeah, and I was like really also going kind of deep into the topic, and not just like, it's that way, that's it. I was like, why is it that way? And
interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you remember what I had? Because I was... Yeah, I know. I don't know how it's called.
I know what you had. You had like verbs, different verbs about movement.
Yeah.
Like walking, running, carrying something, driving, flying. Because-
with the hand.
Yeah, carrying someone
By hand.
kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because there's always two different
Versions.
words for each of these
Yeah.
verbs, actually.
Okay,
Yeah. Anyway.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Anyways, we wanted back to what we wanted to do.
Mhm.
We wanted to explain to you, or she wanted to explain to you why we say ramen at the end of the podcast, like as an
way of saying goodbye, kind of.
Yeah. So
you can thank me later, by the way.
So you can tell them why is that?
I can tell them.
I can.
Okay, so here's the thing. It was because we actually chose to talk about school stuff because this story also took place in school.
That's everything in our life, pretty much.
Kinda.
Sadly.
But not anymore.
Not anymore. We're free.
So there was this one lesson.
Was it a lesson or was it just useless?
Chilling.
Useless chilling. Yeah.
I don't know, religion. That's probably not the right word for the subject. I think there's like another word.
Religious education.
Oh my god. Called it.
Called it. Religious education. Mm-hmm. So it was then.
Yeah. Yeah, and then because it's always kind of at the end of the day, like at the end of the school day, and we're all kind of
or at the beginning.
True. Like our brains are completely fried already.
Fried is a good word. Yeah.
And you were telling me because we always pray at the beginning of the lesson.
He's like pulling like a card from his like small box, and he's pulling a card, and someone had to read it. Like, and before that, we were saying like the thing, and then someone was reading it, and after that, we were saying like a prayer, and
usually at the end of the prayer, you obviously say Amen, whatever. But you were telling me like interesting fact. Did you know?
While we were like praying, I was like
probably yeah. But you were like, do you know that there is this kind of religious grouping,
which is not a real religious group, but like more of a
joke.
Probably it's a joke. I don't think there's people who actually believe in this.
Yeah, but you said there's like noodle religion.
Like a noodle, yeah. Like with the spaghetti.
Yeah.
A spaghetti monster.
But I thought it was like people who like really, really love pasta.
No, they think like that the god is like the spaghetti monster.
Okay. Okay. But the thing is, you were telling me that they also, at the end of each prayer, they say ramen instead of amen.
They were like praying and then ramen at the end instead of amen. Yeah. It's crazy.
It was hilarious, literally.
I knew that from I feel like some boys in our class or in the other class were joking about this. And someone was telling me, and I was like, this is amazing. And I was like, I have to tell this to you. God. Yeah. So
and from that on, we were like every time when we were saying this freaking prayer, at the end we were like blah 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 blah. Ramen.
And we were like, we found it so funny. It wasn't.
We thought we were so freaking funny.
Yeah, but we found praying funny actually the whole time because we were like we didn't know what the words were, and we were and then we're just saying the ramen thing every time. Yeah, every time.
I still don't know if like our teacher actually overheard that at some point.
I feel like if he noticed it, then he probably thought that he wasn't hearing it quite well. he was imagining it. Maybe
He was like, no, they would never say ramen. Why would they?
and we were like,
That's so funny.
Yeah.
But it like made the day so much better, or like at least that lesson, because it was always kind of boring.
Yeah. So, but not, and it went on actually, because we weren't just saying this then in religious education, but now we are saying it to each other when we say goodbye. The last thing that we say is like ramen, because that happened because we hate to say like good night or
exactly, or
wishing each other happy holidays or
it's just our way of just wishing something well to somebody,
like a greeting or good morning. No, it's more of a goodbye every time, so we say ramen each time.
It's like kind of wish you all the best for the thing that's coming next or something like that.
So it's
and I think that's beautiful.
Yeah, but it still happens when she's leaving. Then after we do this, we're telling each other ramen.
Yeah,
it's happening. Really,
it is a thing.
It is a thing in our life, and it's important. Yeah. So that's why we kind of came up with this. I didn't.
Yeah, true. Because it's something funny, kind of. Because deep talk. Because we always talk about kind of serious stuff.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, we're talking about the most nonsense things that you could possibly come up with.
Yeah.
So random and so out of context sometimes that like the ramen is representing our randomness.
Yeah, but also the chillness.
Yeah.
Because ramen tastes really good. And it's like cozy and chill.
It is. And it's something kind of a food, and I feel like we also bond a lot about food.
We talked about one time we will do a podcast while we do ramen.
Yeah.
And this just be so funny.
That will be the peak of this podcast.
Hopefully. Yeah, but so now you know actually that's Franzi wanted to tell you.
Yeah, because I feel like it was too mysterious.
But I like mysteriousness.
Yeah, I mean, there is still some mysterious to us, maybe.
Yes.
I hope.
I gave in eventually.
I mean,
you wanted to do this, and I was like, okay.
I mean, not everyone. Like maybe someone finds this podcast, and this is not the first episode they find. So for some time there will be mystery about the name. Still,
it's okay.
It will be revealed at some point, but not like it's not in description, you know.
Yeah, so it's okay. I can live with it. So I feel like that's it. So thank you for listening
or watching
or both, and ramen.